You help me? My son ran away from home.
My wife hasn't called.
I'm Kunta Shaw. I'm here to take you home.
Tracker, part of CBS Premiere Week on CBS.
Happy 906 day and night. Start the sound of fire because you're going to want to feel the heat this evening. We've got a chilly one in store. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, 2 schools in the UP were closed today following reports of a threat. We'll have the latest on that, along with how law enforcement responded. Plus, a huge car show is underway at the UP State Fairgrounds. Hear what to expect at Motor Mayhem and how it's benefiting the local community. And a judge has granted a request for former President Trump's sentencing to be delayed. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
It's been cold all day, and those temperatures, guess what? They're continuing to drop. Air, how are we looking for our overnight?
As of right now, we've got mostly cloudy skies. We do have some sprinkles out there, friends, and definitely temperatures are dropping, not like it's hot, but like it is fall. Even though we're technically in summer, look at those lows heading into the 40s. We could also see some mid 30s. Most of that, though, expected along that interior. Although the skies are looking fairly dry, we could see some precipitation this weekend. I'll time it out with you with Futurecast after the break.
All right, thank you, Air. And less than 2 weeks into the new school year, 2 area school districts were closed today due to threats made against them. Our John Truitt was on the scene and tells us more.
The Superior Central School District canceled classes today due to a threat against the school. School officials and local law enforcement were alerted to the threat Thursday evening. WZMQ was on the scene at Superior Central this afternoon, and although the school was closed to students today, we were able to speak to the school superintendent, Bill Velema, who said all they can say at this point is this matter is being handled by law enforcement. 19 News has reached out to the Alger County Sheriff's Department, who said the investigation is ongoing and that further information would be released at a later time. Superintendent Velema posted this message on Facebook Thursday night. Quote, "Good evening. Tonight, law enforcement and school officials were made aware of a potential threat to the school. Law enforcement is currently investigating the threat. Out of an abundance of caution and to allow time for thorough investigation, I have decided that Superior Central will be closed tomorrow, Friday, September 6th. Thank you for understanding." End quote. Meanwhile, the Forest Park School District also canceled school today due to a threat against their school. 19 News was also on the scene at Forest Park High School, where school officials directed our questions to law enforcement. This threat is being investigated by the Crystal Falls Police Department and the Iron County Sheriff's Department. And as with Superior Central, the investigation is ongoing and no further information is available. In Alger County, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
And actually, we did just get an update from the Alger County Sheriff's Office. In a press release sent out just earlier tonight, the Alger County Sheriff's Office said they found the threat to be unsubstantiated. In Escanaba, a car show for a good cause kicked off this morning at the UP State Fairgrounds. Our Lily Simmons has that story.
The inaugural Northwoods Motor Mayhem has taken over the UP Steam and Gas Engine Antique Village.
We have rat rods, traditional rods, classics, muscle cars, pretty much everything with wheels. That's awesome.
Including this 1949 Ford F1 being shown by 14-year-old Braden of Gwynn.
It's got a 283 small block Chevy in it, 350 turbo transmission in it, and then 95 Silverado rear end.
Braden first helped his dad build a rat rod when he was only 8. They put in countless hours to build this one between school and football practice.
Started off, built my own frame and everything, and we just acquired parts, and I had a lot of friends donate too, and that helped me. I started in February, and it's almost done.
In addition to the car show, guests of Northwoods Motor Mayhem can enjoy vendors, food, live music, and a full schedule of events.
We have tractor pulls, mini bike races, a bunch of grown men looking ridiculous in tiny bikes, the burnout contest, pinup contest, raffle prizes. We have a couple bicycles we're giving away to kids. It's just going to be a good time all the way around.
It's It's all presented by and to raise money for the Gladstone Lions Club.
Vision, childhood hunger, childhood cancer, some of the things we give money towards. We have needs right here in our town. Our money stays right here in Delta County. It'll stay local.
An opportunity to support those in need and to indulge in a shared love of vintage vehicles.
My dad always did it, and that was an influence on me. He showed me that I could do it, so I did it. If you're given an opportunity, take it. That's what I did.
It's a passion. It's kind of in your blood.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
Northwoods Motor Mayhem continues Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and admission is $15. Realtors nationwide are navigating changes that require more transparency on listings and buyers' agreements. Following a lawsuit settlement that brought to light the need for greater transparency and fairness in the real estate industry, the National Association of Realtors requires agents to negotiate compensation terms directly with clients. They're also required to include more detail when it comes to services and their cost on leasing and buyer agreements.
And it protects us. We're saying, hey, we're going to work with you, but you're also going to work with us. And so that way, in the end, if we do find you a home and it ends up going through and closes the deal, that we know we're going to get paid for those services as well.
We have more details about how those changes will impact home buyers and sellers on our website, WZMQ19.com. America was supposed to learn whether former President Donald Trump would be sentenced to serve time in prison before the end of the month, but on Friday, a judge pushed that back to Thanksgiving week, well after the election. CBS News correspondent Michael George reports from New York.
New York Justice Juan Merchan has ruled former President Donald Trump will be sentenced November 26th, 3 weeks after the election, for his conviction for falsifying business records to cover up payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels.
If, in fact, former President Trump wins the election, I think he would make an argument that it would violate the separation of powers to imprison the future chief executive, or depending on when the sentence would be, the current sitting president.
Merchan wrote that he made the decision to avoid any appearance, however unwarranted, that the proceeding has been affected by or seeks to affect the approaching presidential election, in which the defendant is a candidate. Trump, meanwhile, continues to fight a $5 million civil judgment that found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation of magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll.
This was election interference. It all is.
The Republican presidential nominee attended an appeal hearing in the case Friday, where his attorneys argued the verdict should be tossed out because of inadmissible evidence. Later on the campaign trail, Trump received an endorsement from the Fraternal Order of Police in the battleground state of North Carolina.
As your president, I will always back the blue, as I did. I backed the blue more than any other president.
Vice President Kamala Harris spent the day in Pittsburgh to prep for next week's debate while making her appeal to Latino voters in a radio interview.
I come from a middle-class background, unlike my opponent, who had a rich daddy who helped him start his career.
And Harris picked up another unexpected endorsement from former Republican Vice President Dick Cheney after his daughter Liz announced her support this week.
Vice President Harris also widened her cash advantage over Trump in August, bringing in $361 million last month, while the former president's campaign brought in $130 million. Boeing's troubled Starliner spacecraft is on its way back to Earth. The spacecraft undocked from the International Space Station a few minutes after 6 p.m. Eastern. It's been attached to the ISS since early June. The Starliner is flying home with no passengers because of NASA's concerns over the ship's safety. It was supposed to return with astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams after what was billed as an 8-day mission, but problems with the craft's thrusters and helium leaks forced it to stay in space.
So you can anticipate months and months of test and analysis after the spacecraft gets back. They're going to have to make sure they go back and look at those thrusters, maybe redesign them. Same with the helium valves that had some leakage. And so the question is, when will it fly again? And I'd be surprised if it flew before the end of next year, if then.
Starliner is scheduled to land just after midnight Eastern Time in White Sands, New Mexico. Its astronauts are remaining on the ISS until February, when they can catch a ride home on a SpaceX Dragon capsule. Still to come on your 19 News at 11. It certainly hasn't felt like it these past few days in Michigan, but climate scientists say the world is on track for its hottest year ever recorded. Plus, there's an alternative treatment to ear tube surgery that's gaining popularity. We'll tell you how it can improve how children are treated when we come back.
Amy Doyle reports at 6 and 11 on WZMQ 19 News.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports. See the greatest names and the greatest games in all sports. Top 10 miracle finishes, top 10 comebacks, the 10 greatest women in sports. Want to see who's number one? Watch all the way to the end of the show. Sports fans love it, and you will too. That's The Shortlist, counting down the top 10 of everything in sports. Only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking vote that created America's inflation.
The vice president votes in the affirmative, and the bill is passed.
Economists said Harris's vote led directly to the higher prices we pay. 22% more for groceries, 50% more for gas. Mortgage costs nearly double. Thanks a lot, Kamala. Trump had our economy humming. He'll do it again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The greatest sportsmen and women. Icons of our time and beyond. Peerless performances. Champions in a class of their own. Legacies without equal. Timeless quality, superbly crafted stories showcasing the greatest sports heroes and their incredible winning moments. The Immortals, the greatest athletes of all time.
To catch him, they'll use every trick in the book.
Top investigators and police use the latest forensic science to uncover the truth and solve real cases. The devil is always in the details. Forensic Factor.
I'm Rachel Knapp. Watch my reports live from Washington, only on 19 News.
Now, award-winning WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with Air Stasic.
Look at this colorful map of the temperatures that we had today, and of course the purples and reds mean warmer conditions, which is not surprising. Further west, Marquette area, we saw around 50 degrees and definitely felt that. Look at this high out at the National Weather Service today of 49, low of 46. Normally, we're at about 70 degrees on a September day like today, but not in the cards for our 906 celebrations. Tonight, we've got very chilly temperatures in that interior, especially Iron River and Ironwood, and of course, down in Wisconsin as well. Iron Mountain seeing around 42 degrees. We'll expect mostly cloudy skies for this evening. Sprinkles look to be dissipating. We could have some of that action this weekend, but frost advisory, just a heads up along that northern Wisconsin border. Again, Gogebic and Iron counties, maybe even Dickinson counties could see a little bit of this frost action. So if you haven't covered up those tender plants or taking care of the animals that are outside, make sure you do that before you get to bed tonight. Here's a look at the frost/freeze risks as we get further into the evening. Around 3 a.m., most of that over in Wisconsin, some of it in Baraga and West Marquette counties here. But around 7 a.m., look at that deep blue, which there's a good chance of it frosting over there in that 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock hour. I'm not sure we're going to see icicles of this length tomorrow, but Iron River, my goodness, Inga, stay warm, my friend. We've got 39 as that temperature around 8 a.m., and the temps will be increasing throughout the day, but not by a whole lot. Saturday looks fairly on that cooler side of, yeah, it's technically still summer, and then we'll drop back down into the 40s for Iron River around midnight, 42 degrees. It's going to be another cool one for Saturday evening. The good news is Sunday, we're warming up. We've got soccer with Northern for the women on Saturday. Looks really good for those conditions, mostly sunny skies. Again, get a vest on and maybe a flannel. Sunday looks a little bit warmer, but we've got some more chances of precipitation here in Marquette, so possibly a little bit of sprinkles for that men's game. And a reminder, please stay off of Lake Superior for Elger and Marquette counties. We've got very big waves up to around 8 feet, and those winds are still gusting out there. Overall, again, Fairly warm conditions on our Sunday, even warmer on Monday. Yeah, those temperatures are looking even better. Here's a look around the UP, mostly 60s for tomorrow, and then again Sunday, like we just talked about, we'll see a little bit of a warm up. So some sprinkles coming off of Lake Superior, but we'll see mostly sunny skies eventually on that Saturday, and then again on Sunday we could see some increases of clouds. But I've got your 7-day outlook for Marquette and fall foliage coming up in 15 minutes.
All right, thanks, Sarah. And scientists with the European Climate Service have issued a new report warning the world is on track for the hottest year ever. Temperature tracking reveals the planet just witnessed its warmest summer since record keeping began. Tina Cross reports.
Millions have been sweltering as record heat waves across the globe have delivered the hottest summer on record. Folks in Phoenix are used to the heat, but the city has sizzled with triple-digit temps for 102 days in a row.
This continues a series of global temperature records that started more than a year ago.
Dr. Julian Nicholas with the European Climate Service Copernicus says the average global temperature this summer was just over 62 degrees, shattering the old record set just last year.
It is a clear sign that the climate is rapidly warming.
Climate scientists say unless countries reduce their planet-heating greenhouse gas emissions, extreme weather will only become more intense.
By a heat wave, tropical storms, some extreme precipitation, some drought.
In Sudan, flooding from heavy rains last month affected more than 300,000 people and brought cholera to the war-torn country. And across the world, people are dying from the heat as temperatures reach lethal levels in some spots.
Actions need to be taken urgently.
Experts say the torrid temperatures of 2024 will likely break one more record, making this the planet's warmest year yet.
About 1 million children need ear tube surgery because of frequent ear infections and other problems every year, and about a third requiring more than one set of tubes. Typically, the procedure requires an operating room and anesthesia, but a new FDA-cleared device called the Hummingbird is making the procedure faster and easier. Kelly Worthman explains from Aurora, Colorado.
Can you climb through the rope? Go on, climb through.
Little Bryson is a big fan of the playground.
Can't sit still, typical 1.5-year-old.
And like most toddlers, he's also had a few ear infections.
Before he turned 1, he had his first ear infection, and we didn't really think much of it because he got over it really quickly. And then we started daycare in February of this year, and that is when they were just nonstop.
That meant it was time for Bryson to get ear tubes.
And the plan was for June.
Typically, ear tube procedures happen in an operating room under general anesthesia. But just before Bryson's scheduled surgery, his mom learned of a new device that wouldn't require her son to go under.
I was able to be right next to him, which was the best part because going into the operating room, parents don't get to go back there.
Dr. Gregory Allen of Children's Hospital Colorado did Bryson's ear tube procedure using the device called the Hummingbird.
That allows us to make the hole in the eardrum and to place the tube all at one time.
It's almost like a piercing gun, he says. Using a localized anesthetic on the eardrum, the Hummingbird device allows doctors to quickly place the tubes in just a matter of minutes.
And because it's very quick and the device makes it very safe to do in young children, we can do it in the office with minimal discomfort.
The entire procedure lasted maybe 3 to 4 minutes. And as soon as he was unwrapped and in my arms, he was fine. Run, 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 run.
Since Bryson got his ear tubes earlier this summer, his mom says he's been ear infection free.
It was a great experience.
And back to loving life on the playground.
Mike Ludlam has your look at sports coming up after this.
Pictionary.
I can't wait for this. Where's my popcorn?
Play along from home.
Iguana? Iguana is correct.
You just did a cartwheel and you're like 7'6".
With a chance to win.
Paddle of nunchucks. Nunchucks is correct.
Every weekday.
This is unfair. No one knew that Colton was prolific in nunchucks.
Pictionary, weekdays at 9 on WZMQ CBS.
Tonight.
Up top.
Stephen's got Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi plus House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. Tonight on CBS.
It's Boots and Knives Month at Richardson Jewelers, downtown Marquette. With the purchase of an engagement ring, you'll get your choice of a Rapid River hunting knife or a certificate to go towards a pair of Red Wing boots.
Richardson Jewelers. Yes, we're on thin ice. And everything is going up in smoke. Still, some are adding fuel to the fire, while the rest of us see the troubled waters rising. Our planet is under the weather. But when the going gets tough, the tough get, well, you know. Because in the heat of this moment, we're not about to lose our cool. Love it or lose it.
I'm Sophia Murphy at the Capitol in Lansing, only on WZMQ 19 News.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Good evening, everyone. Let's take a look at some Friday night football. First, we'll start at Westwood, where the Patriots were looking to get their second win against Calumet. Calumet up 14-0 third quarter, but for Westwood, Ethan Marta finds his receiver. That's Preston Argall, about 38 yards for the first down inside the Copper Kings 20. On the next play, Marta hands the ball to Louis Salmi. Looks like he's in trouble, but he bounces away from that hit, breaks it outside, 18 yards for the touchdown. Patriots made the 2-point conversion and trailed 14-8. We move to the fourth quarter. Calumet has an answer. Quarterback Ted Locust runs the option. You have to check on the Locusts. There are only 3 of them on the roster, I think. That was on 3rd and 8. Plenty to spare for the first down inside the Patriots' 40-yard line. Several plays later, a quick hitter to Trent Hallinan. That's good for 10 yards and a touchdown. Copper King converted the 2-point conversion to make it 22-8. And Calumet is 2-0 after a 30-14 win over Westwood. Hop in the car. Let's go to Negaunee, where the Miners were taking on the Gladstone Braves on Negaunee's Parents' Night. Second quarter action here. Ty Jacobson hands the ball off to Weston Yesney. He makes a couple moves and scoots into the end zone from 16 yards. 2-point conversion missed, 6-0 Miners. Yesney also has the honor of handling the kickoff duties. And on a rainy night, for some reason, they sent this one deep to the Braves' Casey Elwarden on the one. He finds the Red Sea as part of it right down the middle, and he is gone. 99 yards for the touchdown. I think I timed it in about 13 seconds or so. Gladstone kicked the extra point and leads 7-6. Let's hear from somebody.
We're gonna fight till or die. We're gonna back our team to victory. For Grand Old Gladstone High, go Braves!
But Negaunee would respond quickly after that score. Bodie Bonovitz burrows 8 yards, lands just over the goal line. Miners make the 2-point conversion to take a 14-7 lead. Miners are 2-0, and for the second week in a row, they win by the score of 28-7. To the scoreboard, Menominee rolls over Hancock, 63-0. We did not hear from Lonson, West Iron County. Manistee shuts out Gwynn, 35-0, and Iron Mountain marches past Bark River Harris, 40-6. Let's go to Dickinson County, where the Kingsford Flivers were taking on the Houghton Gremlins first quarter. And the handoff goes to Jack Kriegel. He's going to find a couple blockers going his way. That's good for about 12 yards and a first down near the Gremlin 33. Later in the drive, a pass is going to be intercepted by Mr. Hill, and he's going to return the ball to about the Houghton 40-yard line. However, a couple plays later, it will be Houghton trying to pass, and this one is intercepted right there by Gavin Grondin, and he would be in good shape. And then Gavin Trevelyan would get this handoff a couple plays later, scoots the outside. He will find Pater from 35 yards, 7-0 Maize and Blue, and Kingsford goes on to win 28-8 over Houghton's. The Flivers are 2-0. On the scoreboard, oh boy, what a big win for Escanaba, 28-21 in overtime. They went 94 yards in the last 140 to force overtime as Alex Stahlberger scored the touchdown with no time on the clock. Brody icing the 2-point conversion as Stahlberger scored again. So 28-21, Escanaba wins it. Marquette 51-0, dominating Alpena. It was Sheboygan 35, Sault Ste. Marie 12. Did not hear from Bay City Western and Petoskey. And Kingsley blanks Gaylord 16 to nothing. 8-player football. Let's go to Munising, where the Mustangs were entertaining Lake Linden Hubble. We're in the second quarter. Quarterback Brady Axford fakes the fullback, goes to his left, bang, cuts back to his right. About 15 yards for the touchdown. 2-point conversion, no good. Tied at 6 down in front. Mustangs will retake the lead. Quarterback Carson Kinnitz has time to find Nolan Connaughton, and he will dash to the end zone. That's about 20 yards or so. That makes it 12-6. They did convert on the 2-point conversion to make it 14-6. Then the Lakes have trouble bobbling the snap, and the next thing you know, Avery Merck is the most important man in Mustang Nation because he recovers the ball for the orange and black. That paved the way for another touchdown from Kinnitz, this time to Carter Dietzman. And Munising, I should say, would not lose the lead. Mustangs take this one 48-22. To the 8-player board, Ironwood easily over Carnegie 70-0. Forest Park 50, Stevenson 8. Norway rolling right along, defeats Gogebic 54-22. North Central easily over St. Ignace 58-6. Ontonagon 72, Rapid River 22. It was Mount Pleasant Sacred Heart 61, Engadine 8. That was at Gaylord St. Mary, in case you care. Pickford over Brimley 61-6. Cedarville Detour whitewashes Pelston 50-0. And in case you were wondering, tomorrow Ishpeming will not be playing Luck, Wisconsin, because Luck is already forfeited. Apparently bad luck. That game was scheduled for about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. NFL. Packers trailing 31-29 about halfway through the fourth quarter to Philadelphia. And again, that game is in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Sault Ste. Marie cross-country runner Gabe Litzner has been recognized by the Michigan High School Athletic Association as having the Performance of the Week. Litzner entered his junior season with back-to-back UP Division I cross-country championships, and now he's kicking booty in the Lower Peninsula. He's won 2 races already downstate, the East Jordan Invitational and the Birch Run Invitational, by rather wide margins. 2 more scores, if we could. That would be college volleyball. Northern Michigan, a pair of victories today, 3-0 over Minnesota State Moorhead and 3-2 over Truman State. Jacqueline Smith with plenty of kills for the Wildcats. Michigan Tech off to a good start. If we change page, please. The Huskies also picked up a pair of wins. Meg Robbie led them in kills in both matches, 3-0 and 3-1 over Regis and Gannon, respectively. And elsewhere, Lake Superior State split, defeating Eastern New Mexico, but falling to Cal State East Bay 3-0. Brewers lost to the Colorado Rockies 3-2. Michigan Tech men win cross country down in Green Bay. The Tech women were 5th, the Northern women 6th, and we will be right back.
Tonight,
Up top.
Stephen's got Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, plus House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. Tonight on CBS.
Another thrilling week to play football. The NFL on CBS. Catch all of the action this week on WZMQ 19. This Sunday, the New England Patriots travel to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals at 1. See you this Sunday for the NFL on WZMQ 19.
At the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's, this is why we walk. This is why we walk. They're why we walk. And you know what? This is why we walk too. We walk in the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's because we're getting closer to beating this disease. But to get there, we need you. Join us. Hey!
Buckle's Party Store. It's where the party starts in Calumet, with an awesome beer selection featuring domestic, foreign, and craft brew beer, a great selection of wine, just about any kind of liquor you want, and a great range of tobacco products. Buckle's Party Store in Calumet. It's where the party starts for everyone.
What's happening in Washington affects you directly here in the Upper Peninsula. I'm Rachel Knapp.
And I'm Brendan Scanlon. We track the issues and positions of the elected lawmakers you send to Washington.
We're on Capitol Hill every day reporting on what you care about most.
Education, your money, student loans, health care, safety, and privacy.
Coverage you can count on live from our bureau in America's capital.
Only here on WZMQ 19 News.
What's bothering Archie?
Politics. What the Supreme Court says ain't got nothing to do with the law.
Dog tap.
Goldfish. Come on now, I draw the line on goldfish.
All in the Family, Sundays from 8 to 10 on WZMQ Me TV.
Temperatures right now in the 40s. Yes, my friends, it is technically astronomical summer, but that will be changing on September 22nd. That's when we're looking forward to official fall weather. Tomorrow, 50 to 65 degrees, some gusts out there, about 20, 25 miles an hour if they do gust up. And then Sunday, warmer temperatures on the way. We're looking at mostly clear skies for Saturday and Sunday evening, but again, 45 to 50 degrees. Now, here's the good news. The next 6 to 10 days, so basically September 12th through the 16th, we're going to be above normal, so those warm temperatures are on their way back. And I mentioned, yes, we've got fall on the way, which means fall foliage. Yes, the leaves will be changing color. We're looking at October, beginning of October, mid-October. We'll keep you posted on when those colors are changing. 7-day outlook for Marquette, calling for some 80s next week.
Thanks, Air. And today is 906 Day, and an Escanaba Brewery held a celebration of all things UP in honor of the UP's area code. Upper Hand Brewery re-released 906 Ale and its Escanaba Black Beer. 906 Day attendees also enjoyed live music and tacos from La Katrina, braving chilly winds throughout the evening. Upper Hand staff say that the spirit is exactly what makes the Upper Peninsula and Upers so special.
It's a very sparse population, but you can always find friendly faces and people willing to help. The fact that you are a Uper goes a long way with people up here. Whether you're in Houghton or Escanaba or Sault Ste. Marie, it's a huge territory, but we're all collectively Upers, and I love that community feel.
Through Saturday, Upper Hand is donating $1 from every UPA and Deer Camp sold to the UP Honor Flight, which is taking dozens of veterans to Washington, D.C. on September 18th. That's all we have. We'll see you on Monday.
"19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture. 25 years of fun and you're invited. It's the silver anniversary of the Downtown Marquette Farmers Market. Come celebrate with us every Saturday morning at the Marquette Commons. From 9 to 1, you'll find a wide variety of local foods, produce, art, and so much more.